Did you know SummerSlam is this Sunday? SummerSlam! The summariest of slams. A slam so goddamn summery that it is going to kick global warming into high gear. One way or another, we're going to shove this SummerSlam dick right down your throat. SummerSlam. It's this Sunday. Just in case you didn't know. Good evening, all you smarks, marks, and every wrestling fan in between, and welcome to this week's edition of Wrestling Recap. I'm your host, I've Got a Boner, and tonight we're taking a look at the final Smackdown leading into... I don't know. SummerSlam. Let's get it started. We kicked off Smackdown with Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, and the champion Carmella, all in the ring, setting the stage one last time for their upcoming triple threat match at that one pay-per-view that we all know about, and basically stating their individual cases for why they're going to win said match at that pay-per-view that we all know about. And the MVP of this segment is actually Carmella. She just kind of had the crowd eating out of the palm of her hand the whole time, and she's just super effective as the heel champion. I don't think she gets near enough credit for the role she's been playing in recent weeks. She's not gonna win by any means, but still, props. Our first actual match of the evening was Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch versus Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. And it was actually a pretty decent tag team contest with some even better subtle storytelling, with Becky Lynch trying to fight most of the match on her own to try and prove that she didn't need Charlotte's help to win. And Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville continue to improve every time I see them, and despite them losing this particular contest, they don't look any weaker because of it. Good shit. Next up, we had the Bludgeon Brothers put on probably one of the most entertaining squash matches I've seen in recent memory. I mean, technically it wasn't a match since no bells were rung, but goddamn, there were bodies flying everywhere, from Eric Rowan and Luke Harper flinging each other into their opponents, or them slamming a member of the opposing team into each other. There's just so much kinetic carnage going on in this match that it genuinely made me feel like a kid again watching it. It was just that damn good, and it might be my segment of the night, to be honest with you. Is that entertaining. Even more tag team action as the New Day took on Sanity in a 6-man tag team match. It was also Kofi Kingston's birthday today. Happy birthday, Kofi. Big 37. Anyway, this match was pretty good despite us all knowing who was gonna win the match. It was still a really good match all around. Some great teamwork on display from both teams. They both work really well individually and together, and it was a good combination of high-flying and hard-hitting action. Sanity looking particularly strong with their teamwork in this match, eventually though losing via the up, down, down, so both tag teams have a win going into their championship match at that one pay-per-view that shall not be named. Afterwards, we had our first nothing segment of the night with Andrade Cien Almas beating Aiden English in like 3.5 seconds. And then after the match, Lana and Rusev came out and said Rusev and Lana stuff and left. And don't get me wrong, I like Rusev and Lana, but just this feud isn't really doing anything for anybody. There's a reason that the mixed tag team match is on the SummerSlam kickoff show. It just doesn't carry any weight, and when it's all said and done, no one's really gonna benefit from this, so I can't really be bothered to give a shit. Also interlaced in between segments was this 3-part look at the slow burn rivalry between Miz and Daniel Bryan, touching on all the stepping stones along the way of their chaotic and violent relationship. And it was a very well put together and effective promo package, and just gets the hype that much higher for their upcoming match. And it's probably the match that I'm looking forward to the most at SummerSlam, to be honest with you. And in our last match of the night, we saw Jeff Hardy take on Shelton Benjamin. And and I don't know what the fuck happened here. This was just a bad match all the way around. And it felt like a combination of a lack of chemistry and communication between the two. I don't know. There was just a lot of awkward and stiff spots throughout the entire match. Thankfully, it was super short as Hardy eventually won, obviously, after performing the Twist of Fate on Benjamin. 1, 2, 3. Enter Shinsuke Nakamura, who is also easily picked off by Hardy after delivering the Swanton Bomb. And then we pan up the ramp and see Orton staring on from behind a curtain, looking like he just got done shaking a few people's hands. This was just a really weird segment, and it's been a really weird week for Randy Orton, and him looking creepily on down that ramp did not help. That's just all I could think about the whole time. Oh, Lord. And in our last segment of the night, AJ Styles, our WWE champion, came down to the ring and began to cut a promo when he was rudely interrupted by Samoa Joe, who proceeded to open up and read a fan letter, which had basically been saying all the things that Joe had been saying about AJ these previous weeks, that AJ would rather be a champion than a parent or a husband, yada yada yada, and eventually ending with that they hoped Joe would win on Sunday. But to top it all off, the icing on the cake is that it was signed by Wendy Styles, AJ Styles' wife. Yeesh. But then the show just kind of ended abruptly right then and there. Like, there was no watermark or anything. It just kind of cut off and went on to Miz and Mrs. It wasn't a bad segment or anything. It was just a really abrupt ending. And that wraps it up for this week's Smackdown. Pretty damn good show. Some decent matches, some memorable segments. Not bad. Nothing to complain about, really. Miles better than this week's Raw, which I didn't even bother to fucking talk about. And it left a way better taste in my mouth heading into SummerSlam! Now you get it. And that wraps it up for this week's wrestling recap. I've been your host, Erect Johnson, and I will see you guys this Sunday at SummerSlam. Yes, I said that on purpose. Have a great night, everyone, and I will see you all next time.